Hi, this is John. This video is to show you the beginning results of using the best tomato trellis system that I have found on the internet. Previous video that I've done showing the best system is without any tomato plants in it. Here's this one set right here, and as you can see, as they get larger, I let them get tall enough to go up maybe 2 more wires, and then I weave them through. Now you got to be careful with the weaving because you have to curve the plant back a little bit, pull it back away from the fence and bring the top down into the slot and push it through without knocking over the balloons. Now I've learned that little problem the hard way, that little experience, and just want to let all you realize, once you weave this through a little bit, these plants really like to take off. Now I don't go through every one of these squares. Sorry. I don't go through every one of these squares. I go up to the second square and like to weave it through. Now also, you want to remove the suckers if you're doing a square foot garden. Now, removing the suckers is not a needful thing if you're doing this and you got a big yard and stuff. The issue that comes up is the suckers will basically turn into a whole new plant. Have tomatoes on it and everything, but it's basically building an arch away from the main body of the plant. And I don't have the garden space for that. And so I remove the suckers as soon as I see them, and I look for them every time I come out here, whenever I'm weeding or whatever. So anyway, make sure you remove those. The plant will get taller and taller, supposedly, if you feed it properly and do everything right. The weather is good to you. This bed I'm showing you, bed number 5, are the first tomato plants I stuck in here that I bought from the store. The seedlings I had planted were not large enough yet to be transplanted. So I bought these and put these in. And then one of the other beds is almost as high. It's close, but not high enough. Anyway, I'm showing you this one because it's the best one out of the bunch as far as height. Now, as you can see, all these tomato plants, there's no yellowing of the leaves. And basically, I don't see anything wrong. I'm no expert. It's my first year gardening for the whole year. Last year I tried it, but it's in the middle of the season. It was way late for everything. I basically got these beds installed and the fence put around. And then this year in the springtime, I put up these trellises. Now look how healthy these plants are. I water every 3 days. Unless I come out here and it looks like they need water, then I'll water it myself. And at the beginning, when they were seedlings, I'm using Miracle Grow, the powder that you stick in a watering can and then water them. Now, Ray Praxis has a good method, the Praxis 55712 channel. It's on YouTube. What he does is he gets 2 handfuls of compost that he gets from the store, or he has in his compost bin. Usually his compost bin because he has plenty. Anyway, he'll get 2 handfuls of it, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, fill the bucket up with water, and break apart all the big chunks of compost to where it's basically a soup. And he'll go to the beds and pour it on the beds. But if the ground is dry, he'll water it down first, because it's his belief that a bed that has, the garden area that's been soaked absorbs the water much faster than the dry soil. So if I want to put compost tea on here, that's what it's called basically. If I want to put compost tea on here, I'll get the garden soaking down wet for half an hour or so with my sprinklers, and then I'll do the compost method that he does. I'll do a 5-gallon bucket for every bed. I got 9 beds, 8 actually, because one of the beds is supposed to be for corn, and I haven't cut it down and put corn in yet. It's already like June 18th, so what are my chances of having good corn? Anyway, I just wanted to show you the results. Now, I'm going to turn to this bed here and try to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Okay, the very first foot on my square foot gardening is where the tomato plants are. Do you see the stalks bent over to go into the trellis? The reason why you can see those stalks instead of them covered up by the leaves is as the plants get taller, the first 1 foot of the plant I remove all leaves, all branches. But I don't do that until the plant has gotten very large, you know, where it can weave through the trellis a couple of times. The reason for that is to help prevent blight, mold, any other kind of diseases. Because if it rains and then the water is stuck on the leaves and it doesn't dry off, it can help cause sickness to the plants. At least that's what I've read and heard about on the internet. Okay, I'm going to take the zoom off here. I'm going to go to every bed. I got 3, 4, 5, got 6 of them with the tomatoes on here like this. I'll just show you every one of them. Darn spider web. This plant, tomato plant, has gotten big enough. This one's a transplant. I had to transplant it yesterday or the day before, so it's not big enough. Now, keep an eye on this plant. If I remember to, I'm going to keep updating on it. The reason why is, yesterday I went to weave this plant through. I was trying to do it one-handed because I was weeding down here, and I broke off the main stem. Can't tell if my finger's on there. Yeah, there it is. That's the main stem. So the rest of these are side shoots. I don't know if that plant's going to produce anything. It probably will. I'm very upset about breaking that off. This plant here, I wanted to get a little taller before I weave it through, because you see where the V is in the neck here. Dang, where's my finger at? There it is. Here's the V in the neck. Well, it ain't got much room to go into that fence, so I'll wait a little longer for it. But that one, it's weaved through. This plant here is cucumber plant. There's 2 plants of cucumbers right here, anyway, and they're doing great. This seedling I had to do yesterday as well. And here's some more tomato plants. Now the seedlings, I got them from bed 5 over here, the one you just looked at. I poured a bunch of seeds on the ground just to see what would grow on the tomato seeds. I mean, I poured all along here and right there. But doggone it, I forgot I did that, and I pulled them up like they were weeds. I realized that, hey, those are tomato plants, you dummy. The only ones I had left were these. And I tried to dig out more of these, but I only dug out like 2, because all these are basically in the same spot. If I dig one up, I'm going to have to dig them all up. So all these right here, the wind's blowing over, those are tomato plants. Now, I did find out this wasn't cabbage. It was romaine lettuce. I forgot it was romaine lettuce. So now I can have romaine lettuce every couple of days or so. I'm going to pick the leaves off of here. Have some romaine lettuce. It won't last long unless these things produce more leaves faster. Or if the heat doesn't get to them, I'll be able to get some more. That petunia, I planted it almost a month ago from the store. Look how great it's doing. Okay, that's, I think it's called Montana cabbage. Anyway, back to the tomatoes. Okay, that one's going through. I'll do the back side here, you can see it better, I guess. It's hard to tell. This lens on here that I can watch, what you guys are watching, it's kind of hard to see because of the sun. Now this tomato plant is the only one that I know of that I bought that was called a Parks Whopper, and it was producing the first tomato. It produced the first tomato in my garden. But I already cut off one green tomato for my mom. They like fried green tomatoes, and I thought, here, try this. You know, I was so happy. You know, first time I grew something out of my garden, gave it to my mom. Felt really good. Now, the reason why you might like this method better than using a tomato cage or string or wires or whatever it is you're using, this is very sturdy. See those T-posts? It's going to be there until I want it to come down. There is no, oh, it might fall down by accident because of strong winds. No, these are staying in. You know, and once you weave the tomato plants through a couple of times, they're not going anywhere. They are stuck there. You know, they're not going anywhere. This is bed 8. Try to zoom in a little bit. I like this zoom. Got full charge on the battery so I can do the zoom without worrying about the camera dying. Okay, now this big one right here in the center that you guys are looking at. I think I can weave that through one hand. I'm gonna try. Now, it even has little bitty tomatoes on it. Check out these little guys. See how far down they are, down by the base? This plant, approximately, I guess, a foot of it is down in the dirt. And so this plant, is producing tomatoes at the proper location. It's just this way down here. So it's kind of upsetting for me. Okay, so I'm going to reach in here. Now the top, I don't want to grab at the top. I want to grab close down to here because I'm one-handed on this. Bend the blooms and everything. When I'm putting it through, I'm looking at the blooms to make sure I'm not knocking any of them off by letting them touch anything at all. And then the leaves and stuff that didn't come through, I can reach in and grab them and pull them through. Now, if you're going to remove suckers from your tomato plant, make sure that you don't do it at the top up here where my hand is. Wait until it gets taller, then remove them. Because it may not be a sucker plant. You may just be looking at it wrong. Now, there we go. I'm looking at these other plants. There we go. Trying to get my hand in the same spot. This one right here, I know that's a sucker. It'll grow into a whole new tomato plant. There we go. Now, if I remember to, what I would like to do is have an experiment where if these plants get way up here, which they should, then any suckers that are made up there, they'll arch out over this way and produce tomatoes and have the plants hanging down and stuff. I'll let them do that, just not down here, down below. It's just an experiment because I want to see, I want to see my garden just overflowing with the tomatoes coming out, anything else that I have going on. Okay, so this is the best trellis system I found on the internet. Joe Cecil 1 on YouTube. He's the one that had this on there that I found, and he's the only one. His problem though is he was using the panels that were like 2 inch by 4 inch. These are more like 6 inch by 8 inch, or somewhere around there, 5 by 6. They're cattle panels. They're about $18 to $19 a piece. Now they're 16 feet long. So I cut all mine about 5 feet. 5 feet 2 inches, somewhere around there. I don't want to go into detail on that because I've already done that on the other video. Okay. Here's bed number 9. Now, a lot of you might be saying, you can't grow these 1 foot apart from each other. It's just not enough space. Well, it seems like they're getting plenty of air. And most of the plants are cooperating. This one here is being a jerk. He's going left, he's going right. He's got branches going out everywhere. As long as he's producing and everything looks alright, I'm not messing with it. Now up at the top here, I can see that's a sucker right there. But the rest of the stuff that's up here, if it was up here, I wouldn't mess with it. But this here I know is a sucker, so I'm pulling him out. Now I'm not going to say that the suckers take energy from the plant. I'm just saying that they're not part of my design of, growing tomatoes. Now this plant here, try to follow the base. Try to figure out where these leaves are coming from. Oh, it's off of his limb. Okay. Now, even though it's not the main limb stalk, I'm still putting a leaf through there. Oh, come on, don't break on me. There we go. Let them all hang on there. Now, my worry was, here we go. Look at that one. There's a big sucker right there. My worry, man, I'm finding more suckers. Man. My worry was this metal would get too hot for the plants. And I wanted to paint the metal to keep it from rusting. But, long story short, I'll wait till the end of the year or next year to paint. And as long as my tomato plants don't say anything bad about heat. What's going on here? Don't know if it's broken or what, but this guy just does not want to climb. Sucker on there. And another sucker. Huh. I need to go through and check out my suckers more often. Anyway, if he climbs a little more, I can get him up. Okay, now, I've been coming out here every day, except when I get sick or exhaust myself, come out here every day when I go for work and put these through. But right now, look at that guy. Try to make sure you can see what I'm seeing. You're going through there. You got a side branch, evil side branch. Wow, he's way over here. Man, or she, whatever it is. Now, there we go. You see a cluster of tomatoes about to come? I'm trying to avoid touching anything around there. I do not, hold on, trying to keep from knocking over this bloom. I do not use garden tape or anything to hold this stuff up. I figure I just wait until it gets bigger, then I do it. Oh, found another sucker. There, pulled him off. Now, I've had no problems with this at all whatsoever, except now I'm having more energy to exert. I have to have more energy to exert to weave these things through. You know, they want to climb and everything, but not climbing up the trellis, they're just climbing out, you know, going up whichever way they want to go. Okay, so leave here. I'm just trying to go to the highest branch on the trellis that I can go for them to climb. So they'll just keep on trying to go up. Got another sucker. This one I didn't even know had tomatoes on here until I saw it a moment ago. You see this little guy here coming out? He might be in the way in the future, I don't know, but for now he's alright. This one has 3 big branches, jeez. He's a producer. Got his little buddy here. What? This ain't easy, you know, I'm trying to be delicate. Even I'm doing this with one hand, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying it's not easy trying to weave these things through when they're going nuts here with all these blooms, all these tomatoes, going any direction they feel like going. Man. Okay. Oh, I'll look on the other side. Wow. This is wild on this side as well. The top of this is approximately 5 foot 10 inches high. It's about as level with my head. But 6 inches of it is the garden bed itself. Now I did an experiment on this. This is the last bed I had to do. So I cleaned out the weeds and put a bunch of lettuce on top of the soil, slapped it down with my hand, and then put the straw on top. I'm hoping the lettuce will start growing in another week or so. If not, I'll transplant or grow lettuce the proper way. I got it. There's newspapers on my zucchini. Sheesh. I'm not really here to show you all the zucchini and cucumbers I got. Here's the tomato trellises. Okay. Now, I did think ahead of time. The second foot row is nothing but trap crop or pollinating crop. These are petunias and celotias. That's what that red thing is down there. And basically they should be fine in a little bit of shade or sun. But they don't get tall. The biggest height they get is 1 foot. Now on the other bed right over there, I got pepper plants and basil right next to the tomatoes. They're having a war over there on who gets the most sunlight, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they'll be alright. We'll find out. Wow. Those petunias look great. They're doing that on their own. They've been in there for a month. Usually when I buy them from the store and stick them in, they look like that guy. I think he's in there. Hold on. Yeah. That guy right there in the center. It usually looks like him. But that guy's looking great. This is my asparagus bed. Yay. I can't feed off of it for another couple of years. This is the second bed of the oldest tomato plants. Maybe the third. I could have swore it was the second. Anyway, these are the ones that were in there before everybody else. Except for that first bed I told you about. But I could be wrong. It could be the third bed because the one we just looked at, bed number 9, those tomato plants are really huge, so I could be wrong. Okay, so as you see, a lot of these already have tomatoes on them, and they haven't even got up to the trellis yet, weaved in yet. Yeah, that's right, accelerate, come on. Now these plants over here, broccoli and Brussels sprouts. You couldn't pay me $1 to figure out which one's which, because I don't know. I got it written down in my book, but I don't have it with me. I keep a very good chart of everything I planted. Down there, I got some marigolds and petunias and pansies. They're doing quite well. Now, the newspaper idea, I just weed eated and everything, and I had this newspaper from last year that I was going to use as a mulch. I'm like, why not use it? I still got another stack over there to use, so I'm going to be using it. I got a little bit of straw left, too, and I'm going to use it as well. You know, whatever it is you can use, you know. These tomato plants, they've only had this paper mulch down for a week or so. I don't want you thinking I did that right at the very beginning. Okay, and well, here's the last bed I'm going to look at. I'm so hungry right now. I got sick today, big headache. Finally got rid of most of it, so now I'm trying to get better. Okay, well, I love looking at the gardens on YouTube videos. You know, see how everyone's doing. So I'm going to show you my back end of my garden. Now, this back end is an area I won't be messing around with other than planting perennials. Yeah, it's been in there for about a month, and those marigolds over there are looking great. You know, they still have the blooms. Looks like everything's fine with them. And then whatever else is over there, some petunias. Now, right here in the center, all those are perennials. They should regrow every year. Way over there to the right, I don't know if you can see it or not, there are about 3 or 4 pepper plants. Here I got my rose bush. Let's see if this one smells any good. Dang it. No smell whatsoever. Now this one here, I have not deadheaded. I have not cut the blooms off on purpose because I don't care for it to grow. I thought it was prettier in the pictures. Tickles my nose like a rose petal would, but no smell. Now this other one I have over here, see that pink bloom on there? That one smells good. But after you smell it about 10 times, it stops smelling good. Because I guess you sucked all the good smell out of it. I don't know. That's just what happened to me when I did that. Okay. Basically, all these plants here were planted within the same 2 weeks. You know, tomatoes on the right, pepper plants to the left of them, and some basil down there as well. And then basil plants down this aisle, and some more pepper plants, and some cabbages. Or lettuce, I'm not sure which. Wow, this pepper plant don't look too good. Maybe you need some water or something. Now, around them, I just planted a couple of days ago these onions. I don't know if they're going to grow at all. Don't really care. I just finally got them planted. Onions tick me off because I just can't seem to get them to grow. Not the way I want, anyway. Nice looking petunia. Some eggplant. Okay. This is John in Lawrenceville. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and tell your friends. And leave a message or comment.